3, 2, 1, go. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us again under the library. As usual, we will be continuing our Blood on the Rocks module with weird squeaking, and that is our homebrew adventure in the town of Bloodstone, written and created by our very own keeper. I'm your host. My name's Arthur. I will be playing Gerald. Once again, Rick is traveling. He's going somewhere lovely, and we're jealous, so screw him. Everyone else tonight is Chris as Bo, Emily as Florence, Wayne as Quentin, and Scott as Yacker. Our keeper, as always, is the amazing Michael. Michael, take the reins.
Hey, thanks. Blood on the Rocks is a horror tabletop role-playing game set in the Call of Cthulhu universe. We do feature things like bodily horror and immature outbursts and strong language.
Hey, fuck you.
That was
What's this about bodily horror?
Yeah, things to make Scott crawl away and scream.
I think we can skip the bodily horror.
No.
If those things don't appeal to you or they're not appropriate for you, please tune away. But otherwise, we'd love for you to join us. And Emily will give you the recap of last week's episode.
Hey. Great. So last week...
That's what she said. Oh, I hate jokes that I'm not in on.
Sorry, Chris.
Last week, we began with Bo, who was examining the body and specifically the boots of the man that may or may not have been Jack Crab. He almost cries with relief to find that they were not the boots that kicked him. It was not Jack Crab. But he took the boots. They have the initials JW, a yellow stripe from top to heel, and they look like nice snakeskin boots. Bo heads back to town, and as he is on his way, he feels the air shift around him and hears a beating sort of sound, and something big swept past overhead. At the same time, Yacker and Philip were also heading back to town, with Philip on the spare horse leading his injured horse, and something swooped overhead over their heads as well. Philip was leaning forward, but Yacker got a glancing blow to the side that knocked him off of his horse. Excuse me, Nick. Anyway.
There was a lot of glancing blows.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
And
Phil saw-
who's Nick?
Dick.
Dick?
a
Rick?
person who has a
Rick?
issue with burps, I heard. Anyway, irrelevant to this episode. Philip saw the biggest bat he's ever seen, flies off towards town, shoots at it, misses but draws his attention, and then MacGyver's a flour tin bullet bomb.
Very good.
While Yacker shoots and hits. And I guess Philip got a claw to the shoulder. They eventually head towards town as well. At the same time, Quentin and Florence are looking into the left-hand hall of the basement of Gerald's house. We see it makes a Y, there's a purple glow to the left and darkness to the right, but we can see some of those same ceiling lights continue that way. They were just not lit. At this moment, Quentin raises his rifle and points it at Florence's head. And he then shook off whatever was controlling him. He shared that he felt some force take over at that point, but Florence demanded he give her the gun. She's very unsettled. She takes the gun, gives it to Gerald. Quentin pushes past and goes down the purple hall. And as they all examine this room, it's purple because of the glow from tubes filled with purple liquid feeding into water of animal cages. The room is full of caged animals. And this liquid is the same color as what Harold experimented on and also what Quentin drank in his shot from Marissa. Quentin also finds a small cylinder that produces light. And Harold approaches a couple of cages and tries to interact with the animals in them. Keeper, I don't know. It was what your description? I was trying to make this shorter.
Keep
You want me to
going.
read everything I
No,
wrote?
you're not supposed
Okay.
to read what I'm writing.
sorry.
I'm making jokes about you while you're talking.
No, I'm trying to make it. Okay.
That was
Pay
so,
no attention to the man in front
that
of the
works
mannequin.
so well, Michael.
Quentin leaves the room with the animals, shines his light down the right-hand side, and goes to explore. He sees a large metallic object that fills the hall, both height and width. At the same time, Harold has peeked into the room behind the purple room and finds piles upon piles of bones. Luckily, there seems to be nothing obviously human. And Florence wants to go upstairs. She tells Harold she's going to go, but he decides it's better to stick together. So they head up together. And immediately at the top of that rope ladder, Florence turns around and pulls up the ladder, claiming that she needs to control the situation when she talks to, this is so distracting. When she talks to Quentin, who she no longer trusts at all after he knocked out Gerald, stuffed the weird little box down his throat, held a gun to her head. He's acting very erratically. And at this point, Quentin and Harold hear a voice from the closed door to the living area whistling Amazing Grace. Gerald is no longer unconscious on the bed. While we are upstairs, Quentin has continued down this hall and hears a voice in his head saying, "I already told you to leave." Quentin has a conversation with the voice and then freezes again. His body is no longer his own. He's holding his light to the wall about 10 feet high and glimpses tentacly appendages. And now the voice says he can't leave because he ruined everything. And there's a ear-splitting shriek. From upstairs, Florence, looking down the trapdoor, hears Quentin talking to himself and sees a big flash of light.
Oh, yeah.
This back in town, Bo meets up with Philip and Yacker, offers Philip the boots that he took, because remember, he was shoeless or possibly had shoes that had been shat upon.
He shit. Yes, he shit in his shoes. So I gave him a shiny new pair.
And they share their stories of the flying creatures, hear screams from town, and then they go to try to figure out what damage the creatures have done. In town, they talk to a woman that says they took him, and she's talking about her husband, who liked to whore and drink, and maybe she's not that sad that he's gone. But Bo goes off to try to find out who else was grabbed. I guess I forgot to mention that the two creatures had like human legs dangling from them as they flew past outside of town. And Philip was maybe going to head to Body Bills. He was definitely going off in a different direction.
Which is
That's
good
all I've
because
got.
he's not here, so we can just say he's at
Yeah.
Body Bills.
Yeah.
Didn't Bo and I go off to? I remember we were riding like hell through town
Yeah, we were trying to
catch up to the guy
catch
that
them,
was flying
but the
away.
keeper said that they're going so
He was
fast.
just okay. So that was how we finished.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So yeah, I mean, I think if we pause for a bit and give Harold, Florence, and Quentin a chance to resolve and then come back to town,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that for a bit, just because I'd like to get the party back together if we can,
Absolutely. Yep.
or at least
And-
those
and
of us that aren't murdered by Florence.
Yes. And
I
there's-
noticed that part was left out of the.
there's
rewind.
no use delaying Quentin's
Well,
demise.
we don't know he's
unnecessarily.
dead. He's not dead now. Florence just felt threatened.
But didn't you say there was like a high-pitched shriek?
That was in his head, I think.
Oh, okay. You guys didn't actually hear it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was him doing. I can't do it like when Flanders
Oh, God.
screams on The Simpsons.
I think Florence is taking a very sort of Florida stand your ground sort of attitude on her self-defense.
He's feeling cornered.
Just wanted to talk.
So I killed him.
Not yet. Maybe he'll get out.
I don't know if someone points a gun in your face.
Thank you, Bo.
I think that counts as self-defense.
Well, I mean, Harold is now holding the gun.
Well, I guess
The situation has been
depends.
well over for some time.
See, yeah, I guess it depends upon the time span. Is it self-defense if it's like 15 minutes later, or is that revenge?
I gotta say, Harold with the gun's about the least intimidating thing I can think of.
Which is why, yeah.
He somehow seems less intimidating with a gun
Although, I
than
gotta
without a
say,
gun.
Like, if Harold starts hearing voices and seeing stuff again and decides to do something about it,
Oh yeah, what if?
I think there's some potential. For
Damn
some...
it, Millie.
Yeah, what if Millie
Exactly.
used to love mayhem?
I don't know. I think Harold's pretty intimidating.
Well,
All right, so Quentin, should we jump in with you?
Sure.
All right. I need you to make a sanity roll.
Okay. Let me get my dice out. What are we down to?
remember, if you die, you get to snuggle with Sarah.
Oh, that's every night. Oh my God. I needed a 55 and I rolled a 55.
You got it.
Oh.
Okay. So all of a sudden, right, you were kind of frozen and you were caught with your flashlight shining through these tentacles, right? And you saw some lengthy arms, and then all of a sudden your mind is exploding out of your body. It's racing.
Like mushrooms.
No. Mushrooms would be way too slow, way too easy. You feel like you want to vomit, but there's no tie between your brain and your body to actually throw up, and your mind is speeding through time, and you see humans de-evolve into apes, and then you see the apes de-evolve into little winged organisms, and dinosaurs appear, and then all of a sudden there's a blackness and the whole earth goes black. And as it does, there's these figures on the horizon that kind of give a blue glow to the whole earth. And you realize that they're beings, and all of these beings are at war with each other. You lose 4 points of sanity just for taking this little trip.
All right.
While you're doing this, is there anything you're able to steady your mind? The trip itself is pretty harsh on the brain, but you're really able to steady yourself, and you realize that you can move through space and time with your mind right now.
Huh.
Is there anything that you wanted to direct your mind to while you're moving through space and time?
I'd like to pause at Chickamauga.
Actually, no. I was going to say it hasn't come up yet, but Quentin has a fascination with Moby Dick, and he always keeps a copy in his pocket.
Okay.
And it hasn't come up yet. And so he knows it's fiction, but he's fascinated with the whole concept of that and where Herman Melville may have gotten the idea. So he wants to, that's where he's drawn. Like this whole thing, he's just sucked into Moby Dick in the story. Maybe that's what's keeping them together.
Okay, make another
Nope.
sanity roll.
28.
Okay. your brain zooms forward back in history, right? You see the dinosaurs recreate, you see a meteor crash, you see them disappear, see ice ages form, these mammals start to walk on land, right? You go all through this whole evolution of humans, and then all of a sudden you're sitting at a table with Herman Melville and there's a candle lit.
Nice. Huh. And
Now this one's out of left field for me. Where did Herman Melville live?
actually, I'm not sure of that one. I'll have to do a little research on that. I believe
Anybody
in
know?
New England.
They have a they have a museum. Martha went to. There's this ship where I think it's annual, where they do a reading of Moby Dick.
Okay.
And they like stay up all night and they pass the book and each person reads it. So it's got to be on the
Okay, yeah.
Atlantic
It
somewhere.
looks like New York, Albany, and Pittsfield.
Okay, so what's a Herman Melville accent gonna be for me? Somebody give me a Herman Melville accent so I can be Herman for Quentin.
I think it would just be generic
Yeah, New York.
East
New
Coast.
Yorker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New York. All right. What are you doing here?
And I said, "You I have to get my accent." And I said, "You can see me and hear me. This is so incredibly odd and fascinating. But
Ideas come from the oddest of places, and I don't know. You seem strange, but I'll talk to you."
And I said, and I go to my chest breast pocket, and it was a small edition, and I reach for my copy of Moby Dick. That was incredibly popular at the time, I do believe, if I read correctly. And I see if is it there?
Yeah.
Okay, and I look at it, and I'm like, and I realize that time has done really odd things. And I said, "This book, it's written by you." And I'm kind of thrown. I said, and I handed it to him, and I said, "This book called Moby Dick."
That's
And
a great idea. You mind if I steal it?
I was going to say, it just
Well, he died in 1891. So.
He just recently died, right? Aren't we in
Yeah.
1891?
Yeah.
yeah. So we were right on the cusp of his demise, and so okay, and so I asked him his inspiration for Ahab and his quest for looking for this whale and if it related to something in his life, which it doesn't matter if you know or not, so I'm cool with that. And I just want to ask him that and some of the intriguing things which made him write this incredible novel.
And he doesn't respond to the book you put in front of him, or to anything like that at all. He only responds to you as if you're a voice, right, and not a physical being.
Oh, okay.
And he says to you, "What book is this that I wrote?"
I said, one of the most incredible novels ever written, Moby Dick, about the great white whale and Ahab's quest to defeat it.
And as you say this, he takes a quill out of a stand and a piece of parchment, and he writes Moby Dick in large letters on it. And he says, "Tell me more about this whale you speak of."
Well, they call me Ishmael.
And so he writes that down as the first letters or the first words on the paper.
And there we go. And then I say, of course, it's from your hand. You must know everything about it. It's this great white whale that this whaling captain must defeat. But it's also an awful lot of symbolism wrapped into it, religious and otherwise, which must be wrapped into your whole life. And the way you put it down on the paper in this novel, and in the whaling industry, and all the details. When I was working in those horrible
the whole time you keep talking, he just keeps writing.
Oh.
And he has a little liquor on the side that he keeps pouring and drinking from, and as you talk, he just keeps writing.
Okay. And I actually mentioned that I says when I would be in the hospitals working with the patients who were losing limbs and dying, I would pull out the book and open it to a random page and just read it to lose myself in it, which seemed to has happened just now. I was in some sort of situation which isn't coming back to me at the moment, um, but I thought of this book, and here I am talking to you, and this is most incredibly odd. But maybe it isn't. Maybe I've been here the whole time, and so.
Okay. Florence, where are you're next to the bed, right?
I was looking down the trap door, which is
Okay.
beside the bed.
And
Yeah.
as you're looking down, you you see a beam of light come
hmm
through the tunnels, and you start to see Quentin, and he's shining his light up at you. Quentin, you're still with
Herman.
your buddy, Herman Melville. As you see this beam of light come down the hallway, Florence, and then Quentin shines it up in your face, kind of hits you in the eyes, and he says, "Oh, hey."
Hey, Quentin.
Do I?
No, you're
I'm with Herman. Yeah.
you're with Herman.
Okay.
Quentin, can you hear me?
Yeah. I think I'm ready to come back up.
Okay. Can
Oh
we
no,
talk first?
this is not good.
And in his best Quentin voice, give me your Quentin voice one more time. I'll try and imitate it.
To be or not to be, that is the words of Quentin Berry.
Yes, of course I can come up.
Of course we can talk first.
Of course. Why wouldn't we talk?
Quentin, you've been acting very erratically, and it is making me uncomfortable.
Well, what do you find erratic about me?
Can you explain to me why you knocked out Gerald?
Why of course I can. It was a matter of preservation of us. He was acting quite odd, almost dangerous to us, and I merely wanted to protect the group.
Hey, Harold.
I wish I had some popcorn.
Yeah. I'm right here listening.
Are you okay. Oh goodness. I mean, I can't leave him in the basement. That's just ridiculous. But Quentin, what possessed you to draw a gun?
Oh, good word.
I had a moment of irrational illogicness. I can't explain. I think there's something evil down here, and I would like to get away from it. There's a presence down here. It overcame me.
And how do I know that presence will not overcome you again?
It was moment. You're fine, right? I didn't bring any harm to you.
But you so easily could have.
But I didn't. It's the presence down here. You're not going to leave me down here to be overcome by it.
I'm not. I've never had a gun to my head before. I never felt so powerless. I don't want that to happen again.
And I apologize. You can keep my gun. Just please lower the ladder so that I may leave here.
Okay, so it's my gun to begin with. Also, I don't think illogicness is a word, so I'm getting a little worried about you. And also, Florence, how in tarnation have you lived in Bloodstone so long and never had a gun pointed at you? That's pretty amazing.
Well, I've only lived here for 6 years. I guess I've just been lucky.
Boy, then I'd think you'd had 20, 30 guns pointed at you in that amount of time. I barely go a month without a gun being pointed at me somewhere.
People tend to like me.
Well, that's true.
Oh, zing, Harold.
Ouch, that does sting a bit, but I get your meaning. You are quite nice, and you are a lady and all. I can be off-putting to some folks, so maybe that's it, but it seems pretty remarkable.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I've never had such an experience before, and it really threw me. And
Florence, I'm still down here, and there's still an evil that I would like to leave from. Could I please come upstairs?
Could you
What is this
describe
evil?
the evil?
I don't know. Did y'all feel entirely comfortable down here? It was a presence, a heebie-jeebie, if you will.
I mean,
to
it
coin
was
a
a little
phrase.
odd in the basement, but I did not feel a presence.
I do understand a heebie-jeebie every now and then, that's for sure. And
Can
I
we debate
appreciate
this
the
when
term.
I'm upstairs? Would you please lower the ladder for me?
I'm going to let this be your call, Florence, because you're uncomfortable, and I certainly trust your instincts on this. And
I mean, I'm uncomfortable, but I can't leave a man in the basement.
okay, well, how about this? You throw that ladder down, and I'll keep the gun handy just in case Harold gets a little wacky, or sorry, in case Quentin gets a little wacky again. Harold might get a little wacky every now and then, but he's not shooting anybody.
No. Quentin, of course we're going to let you up. You just
Oh,
have to keep in
wonderful.
mind that we don't know you. You are new to this town, and if you continue to act in this way, we can't be expected to trust you.
But I give you my word.
Well, that's fine, but I wish I didn't need your word that you wouldn't point a gun at my forehead.
I noticed that you gave us your word, but not your word what? What are you agreeing to there, Quentin?
I give you my word that no harm will come from these hands.
It's still a bit vague,
It's
but
very-
I think we're getting closer.
Remember, I was almost kicked to death. So you might want to expand that promise to. Okay, never mind.
That's fair.
Nor the butt of a rifle, nor any other thing you could use to do harm.
No, absolutely not. I was just I had a flashback from the time in the war, and I was merely concerned for you two. Really, the pointing of the gun at your head, I can only apologize profusely for.
How does the pointing of a gun at my head express your worry for me?
It was not my action. There's a presence down here, and the longer you leave me down here with it, the more susceptible I am to it.
You're saying you lost control of your own limbs?
Did you
You
not
were
feel
not in
it down
control
here?
of your actions?
Do you not feel the spirit, the entity, the malfeasance that's, well, overcoming?
You see, Quentin, we have a problem.
Florence,
Because
the only problem is the longer you leave me down here, the more susceptible I am. I'm vulnerable. I have no weapons. I have nothing.
I don't
You
believe
got
in
a
a
revolver in
feeling,
your jacket.
a presence. I believe in what I can see, what I can touch.
Okay, he very convincingly takes a revolver out of his jacket and holds it by the barrel and hands it up towards you, handle first. He says, "This is my word." Where did this revolver come from? Is it special?
That was the rusty one that I pulled off of the guy who was shot in town by our suspiciously
Pete?
cloudy
Pete?
gun-
Pete the poet.
Oh, okay. He says,
So it's very
"Th-
meaningful to you, is what you're saying.
this is the only firearm I have about me. Here, I surrender it to you as my word."
Okay. Harold, I'm gonna let the ladder down.
Okay,
I
are
can't
you
leave the
gonna
man.
are you gonna take the revolver?
I'm gonna take the revolver.
Okay. So
So
I'm
you
watching
take the
close
revolver.
as he does that. Okay.
Quentin, as you're talking to Herman, is there anything else you want to talk to Herman about, or so time is not
Mhm.
equal, right?
Mhm.
So,
it.
so
So-
you could, in fact, you start to feel. Make another sanity roll.
Got it. 42.
Okay, so you only take a couple points of sanity damage, because of the way that time starts to feel around you is kind of like silly putty. It has this elasticity to it, and it moves, and it takes impressions off of what's going on, and it seems to be imprints that reverberate through time in several iterations. So not only what you're doing now do they affect the Herman Melville of history, but they affect Herman Melvilles of several histories.
Hmm.
And it really starts to mess with your head. Is there anything else you would want to do, Quentin?
Yes, I mentioned to him that I always wanted to turn Moby Dick into a play. That was my fascination to do that. And then I also mentioned, because I think I have a vague recollection of some horror that I saw not too long ago, and before I twirled into this strange realm of twisted time, and I suddenly sensed that my great white whale that I must pursue is the monstrosity in that basement.
Okay. And so you're describing the tentacles, and he starts writing about a fight with a giant squid, and Moby Dick. You can almost. It's funny, you're facing him, but you can simultaneously see everything that he's writing.
Did you just travel through time and meet Herman Melville and then ask him to read your screenplay?
Yep.
I've been writing it in a coffee
Yeah.
shop for ages.
Yeah, tell him there's got to be a car chase in it and lots of explosions.
Okay. Florence, you're lowering the ladder.
Hmm.
I'm
Okay.
backing up with, gun raised.
Okay.
I feel a little
I
weird
really-
about it.
At
'cause-
somewhere-
Florence.
Somewhere in that conversation, I wish I had remembered enough game mechanics to ask if I could roll for like insight or something
So
to see if I get a
here's-
sense. Go
Here's
ahead.
one thing: if we pull out of the game for a second, you never have to ask about mechanics. So just
Well, I just mean that I forgot that was a thing I could do as we were having the conversation.
yeah, but at any given time, don't worry about the mechanics. Just say, "I'd like to know if he's telling the truth," or something like that, and I'll tell you if there's a role that fits that or something like that. So just do what you would normally do.
I know. I'm saying I wish I had thought to ask you for a roll. I wish I had thought to check some sort of like, do I believe this? Instead of just being like caught in the character saying, well, I have to believe this because why wouldn't Florence believe this?
Yeah. You haven't let down the ladder yet. You can roll on it.
So does Florence feel like this Quentin is the same Quentin that she was speaking to previously? Does
So
Florence...
roll for psychology.
Okay, that's
He was very persuasive though when he handed you the gun.
Yeah.
He's much more well adjusted than the previous Quentin.
I actually got it.
What'd you get though?
A regular success.
Okay, so you're a little off put by the fact that yes, he raised a gun to your head earlier, but his actions of handing the gun up to you were most persuasive.
Okay.
There's something in the back. There's something in the back of your mind that's saying to you, "It's not quite right. It's not quite right," but you don't know what it is.
Okay. Then I let down the ladder.
Okay. And so Quentin climbs up to you. Quentin, make a D10 roll.
Six.
Actually, give me a D100. Let's just do that. Oh, no. We'll stick with this.
He found something more interesting.
Okay. All right. As as Quentin gets up to the top and on the floor with you, he starts talking to you about Herman Melville almost incessantly, and Moby Dick. Almost like you're Herman Melville. There's a very clear cutoff, right? There was Quentin down in the tunnel talking to you, and now all of a sudden he's rapidly talking to you about Herman Melville. And make one last sanity roll.
I'm sure Florence has read Moby Dick if it was.
Oh,
that
that's
popular.
probably true. Yeah.
17.
Wow, look at you. All right, let's see. Okay, for you, only 2 more points of sanity damage as you're ripped out of the space-time continuum, right? You're talking to Herman Melville. You're reading this. You're almost in kind of like an ecstasy as you're watching him write the first pages of Moby Dick. You're sucked out of that. You're thrust into your body.
Man.
You see the visage of Florence, and you're just incoherently going on about Melville, and then you pass out. Okay, and you take. Did I tell you you take 2 points of sanity damage with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What in the world was that?
I just gotta not look at Chris.
Shit. What did I say? What did I do this time?
Were you caught by Chris's visage?
God damn it, I tried to let it go. It happens every time.
Have you gone to a visage parlor?
Oh my God. I just need to not look at Chris for like 5 minutes after.
I thought you guys had that,
happens.
man. I thought you guys had it.
We really tried. We
Nothing
really
was
tried.
happening.
It was
And
a
then
feedback loop.
It
I
was-
saw your smile.
I looked down at you, and you just had this little smile, and then I smiled a little bit, and then you smiled
I
more.
know, it's contagious.
It got worse and worse.
Yeah. You know, the only pleasure I get is that you're all gonna die eventually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow.
It's all right, Scott.
Sorry
You've
to
got your
derail.
blunder. Scott's over there. He's like, I can't say too much, or it's gonna come back and haunt me.
I don't remember. What do you do?
It's all right. We'll hold on to it. We'll let it. Okay.
Oh my
You should-
God, Harold,
Wait,
help
what are
me.
you going to hold on to?
Okay.
Your little mistake.
Your little visage. All right. Yeah, Florence, what you want there?
I was just gonna say, help me, move him to the bed. He's passed out.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was distracted by a mispronunciation and trying not to laugh.
Quentin started babbling about Moby Dick and passed out on the
Okay.
floor.
Oh, geez. Isn't there a Gerald loose someplace in here too?
Yeah, you heard the whistling?
Holy smokes. We got a problem here. All right. Well, hey, why don't we just try to wake him up?
Quentin.
And I'll go over and give him a little backhand slapping. You know, a little low Mary.
got a first aid
little
there
Moe
you
and
wanna do
curly
with
thing.
that?
No, I want to Three Stooges him. What's the roll on that?
Make a stoogery roll.
You know what? Make a Constitution roll, Quentin. We'll put it on you.
Okay.
All right. Actually, my constitution's really pretty darn good. 15, and I out of 75, so that's a super crazy hard success.
And he starts coming to, and his eyes kind of flutter open, and
I'll immediately back up.
What do you start mumbling about Herman Melville there, Quentin?
I was just going on about the whale. The whale. You almost have the whale. And
Okay,
I was
I'm just
apparently
gonna
rooting for
put
Ahab.
a hand over his mouth.
The
Quentin.
whale.
Quentin. Quentin.
Ahab. The Pequod! Oh, Ishmael.
Quentin, you have to be quiet.
Why? Oh, I'm back here.
No,
Listen.
Quentin, you have no idea where you are.
Okay. I know I'm not with Herman, though.
Yes, but you
So
have no recollection of where you are at all.
But I would be disappointed then, because that would have been pretty amazingly fascinating, and all of a sudden, if I recollect I'm not there, it's like, oh, shit. Oh, crap.
I was really expecting poppycock, but okay.
Oh,
Or bollocks.
Bollocks
Fuck.
would be better.
Okay.
Oh, Falderall.
oh, saltwater taffy.
Oh, bizarre.
Shh. Just listen. Do we still hear the humming?
The humming?
Whistling. Sorry.
Oh.
Amazing Grace.
No, the whistling has stopped. In fact, as the whistling, make a intelligence roll.
I thought it was the Camptown ladies.
No,
Nope,
no,
definitely
no,
was not.
No.
Absolutely
That's
not.
a regular success.
Okay. There's something odd about when the whistling stopped and started, but you can't quite put your finger on it.
So right now, when I shushed them, we hear nothing.
Right.
No, like clattering around, or we hear nothing.
Well, make a listen roll.
Okay. I rolled an 8. That is an extreme success.
Mm.
You hear somebody moving around in the next room, which you would presume to be Gerald.
We're in the bedroom. The door to the kitchen was open. The door to the living area was closed. He's in the kitchen?
No, he's in the living room.
Okay. Okay.
Which is the front room of the house?
Yeah. Where
Yeah.
we entered.
Okay.
Quentin, you're also simultaneously feeling an intense urge to
Urinate?
go help the amputees.
Hmm.
You're really confused, right? Like you think you're back in the war, and you're
Okay.
feeling an intense urge to go help the amputees.
You've become unstuck from time, like Billy Pilgrim.
Is there a back door out of this structure?
No.
Okay, so there's only one way in, one way out.
Yeah.
I don't think
Can
that
Quentin
passes. I don't think that
stand?
passes code.
Nope. Gonna need some egress windows.
Can Quentin stand?
There is a small window out the back in the kitchen. That's probably like what would that be? Like 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet.
Well,
Oh.
Harold's pretty skinny. He's sort of a beanpole, but not terribly dexterous. All right. Well, I think we're gonna have to go back through the house.
We have to. We should leave.
I
And I hear Gerald. I hear movement. I don't know how he will react to seeing us.
Okay. Well, we both got firearms and we're prepared to use them. So you keep that one there handy. And maybe you should keep Quentin in between the two of us, so that we can.
Okay.
You can keep an eye on him, and I'll go first.
I know this might seem like not the most important thing right now, but as we pass through that front room, if you see the journal that Gerald was taking notes in, please grab it. I will try as well. I would like to have that.
Okay. I'll do my best.
Okay.
Is there anything in here that we should grab before we go? I think it might get a little fast and furious once we go through that door.
I want the journal.
Okay.
Quentin, are you ready for this? You haven't said much.
Quentin, make a power roll.
Okay.
What about the blender?
Oh no, that thing's
48
dangerous.
out of 60. You got the power roll. Wow. Got
Okay,
it.
you're good. Keep going then. You can answer Florence.
So what was the question, Florence?
Are you ready? You haven't said much.
So that's where he's lost in the book. And I was gonna say, I'm gonna use a quote from. I said, "You've shipped, have ye?"
Uh,
That's what
do
he said.
Do we know what's going on with Quentin? Do we get any of these references?
Make an intelligence roll.
Yeah, if you've read the book,
Okay.
yeah.
Florence has probably read the book, but maybe this roll will.
Yeah,
He said,
this rolls whether she.
Pequod. he said
Extreme
Ishmael.
success.
Yeah, you're
There
like.
you go.
So
Okay.
you're right on. You're like he's
Okay.
quoting Moby Dick.
I got a regular success.
You just did the
Yeah.
Cliff's Notes.
Harold, yeah,
Okay.
you know that he's quoting literature of some sort, and Florence is able to pinpoint. She's able to say almost what page it comes off of.
And then I say to her then, and it's a little twisted. Then they think me mad, Florence does and Harold, but I am demonic. I'm madness maddened.
Quentin, you were very clear when you were in the basement. And now I don't know why we're talking about Moby Dick. What happened?
Do I recollect talking to her from the basement? Because that wasn't
Nope.
okay. And I look at her confused, and I say, "Talking to you from the basement?" I said, I was at a desk with Herman Melville, talking about his book as he was writing it. I didn't talk to anyone from a basement.
And remember, you need to go help
Let's-
the amputees. You're feeling urgency right now.
And I said, the wounded, they need care. They
Okay,
need
well
care
they're
Okay.
right outside, and we need
Let's-
to go
yeah.
through that room over there. And there's somebody who might try and stop us, but we need to get through that room and out the door in order to get to the people who need your help.
I said, if they're that way, then let us go. And I was like, Quentin is a man of action, and so he stands up and moves towards the door.
Okay, you stay between us. I'm gonna go first. So I'll
And
quietly as I can walk toward that door.
And I put my hand on Harold's shoulder. Is Harold? What size are you, Harold? Like, are you a big
tall.
guy?
Tall,
Oh, you are? Okay.
Tall,
But
thin.
he's string beanie.
Okay, because Quentin would want to push you aside, not like a paladin would at this point, and he wants to protect you. He says, "No, there is something afoul of this place, below and above. I will go first and tempt fate myself."
No, I prefer you don't.
that's it.
I've got the firearm. You're just fine right in between the two of us, and I'm
And
gonna start
I
heading
look
toward
at
the
him
door.
and said, "Firearms cannot kill this evil." And I said, I grab him forcefully by the shoulder and try to push him backwards for your own safety, my friend. And it's
I'd just like to lay a hand on Harold's upper whatever shoulder and just say, "Let's let him go. Let's get out."
Okay,
Florence is
and I
like,
open the door.
Let him go. Let him go.
I open the door and stand aside.
Okay, and so my sense is that I need to get to the amputees, the ones who have been maimed, and so I go out of the bedroom. The bedroom went into the kitchen, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And then in the kitchen, there's the device, which unfortunately Harold lost the tip of his finger in and all that such. And there would be the door to the main room, which is that open or closed?
It's closed.
And I said, "My friends, come forth." I said, "The door to the door out of this wicked place is closed, but we must step forward through it." And I said, "Follow me. Do not be afraid." And I push the door open and step into the room.
Okay. As you do, there's a figure right, pretty much the door swings open, and then there's a figure right to your right behind. There was a main desk, right? Like a desk area with experiments on it
Mm-hmm.
and like light mechanical kind of things. And you don't recognize him, Quentin, but Harold and Florence, you would. It's Gerald. And Gerald's standing upright behind the desk, and he has a pair of tongs, and he has his head cocked back.
Oh
and he's
God!
placing the pair of tongs down into his throat, and you Quentin, you hear these awful gagging sounds, right? Just
And I
for you,
go,
Scott.
Go.
so
And
at
he
this point,
has these tongs down his throat.
So if Quentin doesn't know who it is and has no recollection from the past, Quentin would actually go forward and use his nursing abilities from the military if someone's choking, and would go forth and grab his arm and the tongs and say, "I'm helping you," and then would attempt to pull out whatever obstruction is in his throat, because that would have happened with soldiers dying and gagging. It would be a horrible thing.
Okay.
While this is happening and they're both distracted, I'm going to look for the journal.
Okay. Quentin, give a first aid roll. Harold, give me a spot hidden.
This always goes really well.
Yeah, I know.
Can I also spot hidden since I was asking for the journal?
I'm just waiting for one of you to hit a rotten board and fall through the floor.
Holy shit, that was really close.
But can I also spot hidden?
Did you 95 it?
I 92'd it.
Wow. All right.
Can you hear me?
Wow.
Can I also spot hidden?
Can I? Should I keep ignoring her?
Yeah, you should. It's pretty funny.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
Michael,
rolling a spot hidden.
Michael, can you roll for misogynistic prick,
I-
please?
I got a great success. What's the middle one? Strong success.
Hard.
It was a
Hard
very great
success.
success.
Great success.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, the terminology doesn't make sense to me.
Hard, extreme.
Hard.
Yeah. It's like, it sounds like beverages, you know, hard. I'll have a hard. Extreme!
I'll have an extreme beer, please.
Extreme caffeine!
All right,
Okay.
Florence, what were you looking for?
The journal. The journal that he was taking notes in when we were talking to him before.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so as Harold is like bumbling about.
Yeah, did I
he's like,
find
"Oh,
something completely unrelated and like grab some book that has nothing to do with anything?
Harold's like spread eagle on the floor, just like patting and kicking around, and he's making his way to the front door. He finds a loose nail. Otherwise,
I'm keeping it.
Florence, as you're trying to avoid Harold, who's spread out all over the floor, you do see there was a gap where one of the floorboards didn't quite meet the central workbench, and the book is down in there, and you're able to pull it out.
Okay. I'll pull it out and stick it in my bag and slowly move towards the front door.
Sounds good.
Do you let Harold know that you found it and that we can go? Or do you leave me?
Yes. Harold. Harold, I got it.
Quentin, how was your first aid roll?
My first aid roll, I actually made it. At
Okay.
a 38.
So he oddly kind of relents and lets you help him. There's these horrible gagging sounds that only somebody of your experience could even tolerate, right? Because it sounds like you're choking him to death. His body, though, unlike anything you ever experienced in the war, right? You've had people try to like reach out and choke you when you've removed objects from your throat. You've had people try to punch you. All kinds of like violent responses to you trying to do these really painful procedures on them. His body, he manages to stand there, and his whole like head, neck, shoulders, and arms just go limp while you pull it out. And you pull out a small metal box covered in blood and saliva, and give me a dex roll.
Dex?
Yeah.
That I do not get.
Yeah, so you knock out his front tooth as you're pulling it out. He closes his mouth a little bit, and the front tooth comes popping out, and you don't know where. It rolls across the floor somewhere, but the box. And then as soon as the box comes out of the mouth, his whole upper torso comes alive again. He grabs the tongs from your hand.
And I was going to say, and I calm him. I say, "Calm, my friend," because, patients would have done that all the time. And I pull the tongs back, and I said, "Calm, you need to sit, my friend. You're ill." I said, "This horrific wound of yours." I said, "Perhaps I pulled musket balls from people, so it's, and I said, "Where's the entry point? How did this get in you?" And I said,
How did it get in? Was it Quentin?
Yeah.
It was Quentin.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, so he goes, and then he looks for a chair, and then he guides the fellow to the chair to sit him down and make him feel better.
What is happening with the box while this is going on? Because it sounds like that
Is he holding it?
Gerald has the tongs with the box. Is that right?
I don't know. That's what the part I was going to ask. Quentin, did you say you pulled the tongs away from him?
Yes.
Okay, so Quentin has the box with the tongs, and he's guiding Gerald to a chair. And Gerald says to you, Quentin, in a very raspy, very strained voice, "It's time for you to leave."
As I'm on my way by, I'm gonna grab the box off the end of the tongs.
Okay.
And then head right for the door.
Make let's see, Harold. Let's see how stealthy you are with that.
See if I can sleight of hand this.
Yeah.
What am I using?
Sleight of
Dex?
hand or stealth, either one.
Is there sleight of hand or stealth in this game?
Yeah, there's both.
Oh, can't use dexterity?
Sure, I'll give you dexterity.
Oh,
Why
really?
not?
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
That's a whole lot better. Oh, good lord. I would have actually passed on anything with that. But with dexterity, it's an extreme success.
Okay. So you quickly slip it out from between the tongs, put it in your
I
pocket,
yoink
and head
it.
out the door. Yeah.
All right.
Yoink.
Now you got a nail in a box.
Perfect.
You're set, man. You're set for your
That's
pinhead
all I
costume for
need.
Halloween.
This nail.
From the
in
door,
this box.
Florence just says, "Quentin, come on."
And
It's
so at
time.
this point, I use one more Herman quote for Gerald, that that he said it's time to go, and I look at him and I try this. Let faith oust fact, let fancy oust memory. I look deep down, and I do believe. And at that point, I want to try to pull back a thread of memory of the situation that happened before, a recollection of this person that is sitting in front of me.
Okay, make a POW roll.
Okay. 57, I got it.
Just a regular success.
Regular success.
Yeah, so his face is oh so familiar, but you can't place it. You know this face, but it just doesn't make sense.
Could I argue if I want to argue then, or just see for a feeling, an emotion or a feeling, and
That's
seeing the
a
face. If I
pushed
don't-
roll. That's a pushed roll, my friend.
Do it.
Go
so,
for it.
For a POW, or something else.
What's
okay.
that?
For going on a POW roll again?
Same roll.
Yeah, POW roll. Yeah.
Okay, same roll. Oh my God, a 2.
Holy shit.
A 0-2. Oh my God. Wow.
All right. You're gonna have to make. The only thing is, you'll have to make a sanity roll for making this.
Okay. It's getting lower very fast. So I need a 47, and it is a 100.
Holy shit!
Oh. Oh.
Do we need to take a break so you can think about that?
Yeah. Oh, you strained your brain too much after time travel,
Oh
man.
no!
Oh.
Keep it joy.
You went.
Alright.
Oh, actually, Michael, I wanna
100.
tell you then, since I did roll 100 and the sanity is there, I wanna just tell you what Quentin would have been thinking and wanting and about this if he had any recollection. So the whole Moby Dick Herman Melville story all is wrapped into one, and Quentin is starting to embody some of the feelings and notions of Ahab and his great whale, his white whale, the thing he would be searching to hunt down and destroy would be the monster. But the monster, then I realized, was Gerald. It was one and the same. That was his notion all along, that the creature down below was also Gerald, which was also this liquid and stuff. Quentin was starting to put that together with his really good education. So to feed your 100, his sense of getting a 2 was he knew what knew then what Gerald was, and that he had been. Florence, I didn't tell you. So Quentin actually cracked Gerald. That watermelon sound that you had heard was Gerald's skull splitting open when Quentin gave him a second crack in the head after you went down the basement. He wasn't gonna.
What?
I don't remember that.
I sent it to Michael in the chat.
Quentin.
So, as you went in, I wasn't gonna. I just suspected him too much. So Quentin was absolutely sure that this Gerald character wasn't Gerald and was wrapped into all this other evil, and perhaps even with that gunfighter. So he was attempting to protect the group, and so in protecting the group, he was a man of action, and he cracked him in the head, and his head, as Michael said, was like a watermelon. And so the fact that he's standing and he's there is an abomination and in this wickedness, and with that 100, the only thing Quentin would want to do would be to destroy this creature.
Good
And
luck
the-
doing
bad
that
that
when you're
Florence-
a drooling vegetable.
And
It's really too
and the
bad
symbol
that
of the creature then is Gerald, and so that would be his only notion and only care would be to, much like an Ahab.
I think you've done more harm than Gerald ever did. Gerald, yeah, sure the stuff with the animals, we don't know that he's experimented on people.
We've only seen a teeny little bit of what he's probably done.
Yeah.
So
But based upon that,
Well, considering his basement, and then he's harboring malevolent creatures, or
Okay,
that,
so-
that only you have purported to have seen.
Right.
so here's what happens. Okay,
Wait, are we
So you're
taking a
right.
break?
you want a break?
Let's
Yeah,
take
I
a break,
could
and then
use
we can
one,
find out what
please.
happens later. All right.
Okay.
So we'll take a break. Everybody, take 5-10 minutes. We'll be back in a little bit. All right. Then we are back from break. Michael, what is going to happen with Quentin's 100?
Okay, so I do want to clarify because Quentin did roll an extreme success beforehand. So normally that would prevent him from taking a sanity roll. However, the reason I had him make a sanity roll is because what he saw due to that extreme success of Gerald was he saw all of his actions way too clearly. And he saw the being inside of him that was inside of Gerald. So what happened then is when he made that extreme success and you tried to recognize Gerald on that push roll, it all came flooding back to you, right? You cracking him in the head, shoving the box down his throat, cracking him in the head again, going down, wandering through the tunnels. There were moments and flashes in the flashlight, and this is all like simultaneously. It's just like a huge burst of information that overloads your brain, and you see these kind of snapping forceps on the ends of lanky little tentacle arms. You see the tentacles shining through the light. You're all of a sudden talking to Herman Melville, and you realize in that moment you have this extreme clarity that the reason you're talking to Herman Melville is that the thing that was overtaking Gerald's mind is actually in your mind. And you have this complete psychological break with the fact that you're not sure if he's still in your brain, if you actually met Herman Melville, or if you only like hallucinated this conversation with the monster. So that was the sanity roll, which was an ultimate breakdown in the process. However, I want to give you an opportunity before that overtakes you to like think of one round or two of movement with Gerald or actions before we roll for your bout of madness.
So this is incredibly simple. So this is where Quentin's mind would go back to the very end, where the Pequod had been hit and smashed, and Ahab had thrown the harpoon, and Ahab would say, and also Quentin then says, "Oops, let me get that." And he goes, "To the last, I grapple with thee," and Quentin's hands go around Gerald's head and neck, and he twists it to the far side as hard as he can to snap his head
Okay.
and snap his neck.
All right, roll a d10.
And this is with madness involved.
Are you guys still in
No,
the
this is-
room with them?
Hmm?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a great question.
make 2 rolls. I need you to wait. First, I need you to roll a D100 for your fighting or your brawl.
Oh my God. So
You got the strength of madness.
I have a strength of 65, but I also have pretty darn good fighting. It's a 45, but even with that, a fighting brawl, I rolled a 3.
Oh,
So
Oh my God.
that's a super extreme success with
Oh,
any one of
Wow.
those.
Your
Okay.
rolls are crazy.
So
They're
Yeah.
swingy.
yeah, they're all over the place. So you grab his head and neck, snap as all of these thoughts are flooding to you. As you snap his neck, you all of a sudden imagine all the decapitated bodies of the battlefield, the dismembered arms and legs, the shots of cannonballs kind of echoing through your head. Roll
and
a
the
D.
and the dead seamen from the Pequod who were killed
Yes.
by Moby Dick.
Yes, and it's all blurring together. Roll a D10.
A D10. Oh,
Yeah.
which one? Okay, the D10. 4.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. And as you do this, you feel the eyes of what at first feel like spies, right? There's people in the corners of the room. Make another D10 roll.
A 7.
Okay. You feel people looking at you from all the corners of the rooms. You're being judged by the gods, but also you're not only being spied on by people in the room, but people when you traveled space and time, those creatures that you saw in space and time are looking on you right now. It's an extreme bout of paranoia, and you go.
But
Yeah.
Quentin, being an actor, would also underlyingly enjoy the eyes and the and being looked at and being center stage. He would sense himself being in the center stage of all this and a starring role in whatever madness this is.
So, all right, then you can play to it. I'll give you that. You can play to it, but it bursts. The room is too much. You feel the eyes, and you burst out of the front of the house. And if you want to burst out of the front of the house, singing to them or performing for them, this is what Florence and Harold are going to see right after you. They didn't see you break Gerald's neck, but they'll see you burst out of the front of the house.
Like Sunset Boulevard coming down the stairs.
This is like a very David Lynchian moment, is what I'm feeling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are all the eyes watching you booing?
Oh, that's good, actually, Harold.
Oh, that would hurt.
Nice.
That would sting.
Yes, Quentin, and that's what's happening. That's what gets at you.
What happens?
The eyes that you feel, they don't like your performance. They're booing you.
Oh, all right. I love that. Okay, and I go out and I burst out and I with fist shaking and I said, "Fools, fools!" Because I believe they're booing my play of Moby Dick that I finally got out, and it's the opening night, and Quentin is going on with lines. He says, "As for me, I am tormented with an everlasting itch for things remote," and then the booing would go on, and he would be jeering, and he yells up, "I'll lash every one of you," and starts getting a little wacky, I'd have to say.
Okay. And so Florence and Harold, this is what you see burst out of the house. Then and he's like stark raving at this imaginary audience.
Oh my God, Quentin, what is happening to you?
And I, fools, all of them. I said, jeering at me, a great actor from Boston to Washington, with my opening play of Moby Dick.
There's no one here.
I said, nobody here. We're surrounded with thousands on opening night here in the great capital of Washington. How did you get a ticket?
Well, we can literally hear crickets.
Oh, and I do remember sending you tickets.
No, crickets, not tickets.
No, tickets.
Quentin,
I've definitely
do
got the
you
gun
know
on him.
me?
Do I know Florence?
Yeah.
And I look at her and I said, right. And then I would say, yes, of course. You're that peddler of books. And books. books.
Yes, then you know we're not at a play. Let's go.
And then when I say books, I pull out my copy of Moby Dick and start looking into it and get lost in a page and just start reading for a second. And I said, yes, I should have put that in my play. That would have made it good. Oh, next.
Quentin, what happened to Gerald?
I said, Gerald was the whale. He's been harpooned and killed.
Did you kill Gerald?
It's not Gerald, that was Moby Dick. He said, he was the great evil. He was the great evil of this whole place. What I saw in the basement, what was happening to the animals.
I'd like to go back
Gunfighter.
inside.
Well, silver lining here. I'm no longer the crazy one.
All right.
I'm going back in.
Okay. Quentin, let me finish. This is your last sanity. You take after that bout, you take your final 3 points of sanity damage.
Okay. Final
Right.
3. Woo, boy. Luckily, he started with a good amount.
And you after it, you're not in this state for very long, like a minute or two. I need before you go back inside Florence, Quentin, make a D10 roll for me. This one you want a high number.
A 1.
Oh God.
I'll give you, after all of that, I'll give you one more roll on that.
All right. A 9.
All right. Add 9 points to your mythos.
Oh, mythos. That's kind of cool.
Sorry, mythos.
Yeah.
Mythos.
The mythos is...
Your visage of mythos.
Would you like some caramel with your mythos?
Where is our mythos roll on the sheet?
It might be under Cthulhu mythos.
Oh, right.
Okay. All right,
Got it.
Florence, you walk back into the room. This is creepy for you, right? Your skin crawls, the hair stands up on the back of your neck.
I'm going with her.
This is quite uncomfortable. I mean, y'all just escaped out of there. The last thing that you saw was Gerald with like a pair of forceps down his throat. And when you walk in, it's really hard to see. There's a candle lit on the workbench, and from that glowing candle light, you see Gerald slumped over on that table where y'all originally met. So way back, I don't know, 18 sessions ago. And he's laying there very unnaturally with his head turned at an awkward angle. There's a lot of blood and mucusy junk flowing out of his mouth, but you kind of only see the dark liquid hanging out on the table.
Yocker, that's the body horror.
I'd like to walk over and try to take his pulse.
Okay. Make a first aid roll.
That's actually a hard success.
He's dead. He's real dead.
He's dead.
And in fact, as you feel on the neck, you maybe even feel a protuberance of the spine.
Mm. Harold, you're in here with me.
Yep. Yeah, he looks dead, all right.
Quentin killed him.
Yep.
All of
he
those
sure did.
words. Everything he said to me from the basement.
Well, he is a little loony, but you know, I gotta say there is definitely something really weird going on here. I don't necessarily condone just killing him, but it certainly doesn't seem right what's going on here. So
I
while he's
absolutely
clearly
agree
crazy,
with you there.
he might be on to something in his sort of crazy ways. But you know, not for nothing. I think it's really time for us to get heading out of here. But first, is there anything else that we might find useful in here before we go? And also, is there any indication of us in particular being here that we can get rid of? Because I really don't want anybody thinking or knowing that this had anything to do with us.
Agreed. And I think no. I mean, that journal that I now have included notes of our experiences of our visit, and other than that,
Okay, I'm just going to sort of rack my brain for a second and try to remember if there's any chance that we dropped anything here, or if there's anything else that could tie us to this location. Obviously fingerprints aren't a thing yet.
Yeah, that's
so I don't know about that.
That's good. I like that. Make a. Let's see what we got here. They don't want to make you make a stealth roll because you're thinking about it. Make an intelligence roll.
Okay. That is just into a hard success.
Nice. So you scan the area really well as you can in the darkness. You do locate what would be something of yours, Harold, that maybe would be an identifying item.
tip of a finger.
Oh, yeah. Tip of a finger.
Oh, God, yeah.
Very
Who's missing
good.
A fingertip.
Yeah.
That's good. So so you go back in the kitchen and you have that moment of clarity. You're like, oh crap, the tip of my finger's in that blender.
Well, I was thinking of doing this anyway. I'm going to steal the blender.
Okay, cool. So it's hardwired down into the basement.
So I have I'm actually pretty good with electricity. So I have electrical repair.
Okay.
So I would think that I would know how to quickly just cut that cord somehow.
Sure, I'll give you that.
Okay.
You want to roll on that?
Sure. No, I'd like to just have it be successful.
I knew you would.
Can I? Is that an option? It sounded like you were asking me if I had the option there. Let's see. Yeah, it's a regular success.
Cool. All right, so you snip it very quickly and it comes loose. It's bulky, right? Like it's a considerable size contraption, but you take it out and head out.
Okay. I am going to take the wire that's hardwired down to the basement, and I'm just going to stuff it down into the basement.
Okay.
So Florence, now this isn't generally my style, but it's a pretty horrible place. Although no, the animals are downstairs. We got to let the animals out.
Burn something down.
Didn't you already?
No, I didn't. I just got started. We cannot let them all animals starve down there. That's not okay.
You're right.
Let the purple animals out.
Yeah. I got to go let them out. I can't let them starve. That'd be terrible. I'd never be able to live with myself.
Yeah.
We've got two extremes of the moral compass in the same party.
Oh, man.
Harold, I'll help you. But
What?
maybe we should move them in their cages to the trap door and pulley them up, because we can't just let them loose in the basement or they'll still starve.
Yeah, sure. You're right. Yep. I agree. And I don't think that
Okay.
fox will let me carry him out.
Yeah, he didn't like you
Didn't
very
seem
much
to like
at
me at
all.
all. Nope. All right. What are we going to do with Quentin while we're doing this? Maybe. How far a ride was it, Michael? I forget. It was kind of far, right?
It's like
It was a
2.5
few hours.
hours. Yeah.
What time is it now?
It's well into evening. So 8, 9 o'clock.
But time
And on the
for
next
us.
episode of Kill Me
Yeah,
Please
you got-
Keeper.
You're going to have to bed down there for the night.
Well, no. Time for us to get to town, get Yacker and Bo, get back, let the animals out, and then, get anything we need, let them see it, see if they see anything that needs to be taken, and then leave before daylight.
Pulling an all-nighter.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't want to get pinned for a murder that Quentin committed and get hanged. And I don't want to be responsible for the deaths of all them poor innocent creatures down there that have been tested on.
I do agree with you there. I mean, yeah, we could certainly go back and I mean, I think even we should go back and find some reinforcements. I don't know what to think of Quentin, and I do not trust him.
Yeah,
And
if
I'd love
nothing
having a
else.
few more people.
Yeah, I don't like having my back turned on him for that long. Who knows where he might go or what he might get up to.
So we'll just agree that we will come back for the animals.
Okay, let's
You
do that.
comfortable with that?
Yep, I'm okay with that. As long as
Okay.
we get back, and that's our first priority is to get back here and release them.
Okay.
Okay, off we
Let's
go.
head back to town then.
Quentin is completely sane now.
That's never.
He'll
gonna
probably
happen.
he'll probably never be completely sane after that experience.
Yeah,
A great mind expansion. It was like a Timothy
Yeah.
Leary thing.
Yeah.
he makes Harold look sane, so he's not doing so great. All right, so we're heading back to town. Try
Okay.
and find Yacker and Bo. And
All right.
Philip. We don't know Philip's off doing something else, but
So, Bo, we need to flash back, do a little time warp with you for a moment, and when you searched the saddlebag and you failed that roll,
Yeah.
you did find a book with blank pages,
A book with blank pages.
and it's up to you whether you keep it or not. But I needed to go back, and I forgot that you did find a book with blank pages.
Well, given
It's an older looking book, but
yeah, I definitely would have kept it, knowing that Florence and Harold have been interested in books, and plus the dissonance that this smelly, old, stinky, hairy guy would have a book on him. So yeah, I would have taken it.
okay, perfect. All right. So then
Don't
we
forget, Yacker's mad smart, so you probably want to show the book over to you.
Yeah, while we were traveling, I would have showed you the book.
we all got attacked by the flying things.
Yeah. And then I caught up to them because they were still leading a lame horse,
right,
where I was, going at
and that's where you got attacked by the flying things, and y'all headed up into town. So you haven't really had a chance to. You wouldn't. That's why I didn't
Oh,
feel
okay.
bad.
Yeah, let's wait until, because I was gonna like hunker down by Florence's, assuming that that's where they were gonna come back.
And
So,
you're also we left off. You were talking to the woman in town, whose husband had gotten picked up.
Yeah, I talked to her, and then Yacker and I.
Yeah,
I think,
we realized we couldn't catch, and then we headed back into town.
Oh, that's right. And then I was asking if there was any. Oh, that's right. I promised her. Oh shit, yeah, I promised her I would find her husband for.
And then
her.
2 minutes later, we came back. We're like, well, we tried.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. So y'all are talking to her right now.
Well, I think I
No, we-
wrapped that up. I
We
think
wrapped it up. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had left with the intent to go figure out who else was snatched, who the other person
that's
was.
right, because we saw two people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, just try to find someone who's kicking up a fuss more
Yeah.
than.
So a little further up, y'all are in kind of the northeast quadrant of town, and a little further up that road to the north, you see, another big group of people, and it's kind of in the flickering firelight of some roadside torches or gas lights, but you see a whole lot of people hunkered around somebody.
Okay, Yacker, I'm hoping maybe we can get a different perspective from these other witnesses, maybe.
Yeah, let's head on over and check it out. And I also want to find out if the people that were snatched had anything in common.
Okay, yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, that's because I'm Yacker. That's what I do.
So, yeah, we pull up the horses by where the commotion is. Hey there, folks. We we seen that met a woman back there. Said her husband was taken by some bat-like creature. When we came into town, we saw these things flying away. They had two. Each one had a person. Did someone missing a?
And you're pretty much you're cut off, and there's a group of people, and there's a woman sitting up, and she's just absolutely distraught, and they're holding her up on either side by her arms, and she's just screaming out, right? Like, Sammy, my Sammy, oh little Sammy, where did you go?
No.
No, they took you.
I just yell, does anyone here know what happened?
And
Anyone seen anything? We're gonna go putting together a group of people trying to see if we can find the people what were took, but we need to know more.
and one of the women holding her up by the right arm just looks at you and says, "It came out of nowhere. It's not the first time, but they just snatched him."
What do you mean it's not the first time?
I mean, it's happened before.
Oh,
Would I not have heard about this?
Swede. Oh,
What's
that's
that?
right.
I'm a
Yeah,
local.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a local.
And it's been a long time since it's happened. Years maybe even.
Oh, okay.
So maybe I was younger and wasn't paying attention.
But you
Sure.
so
you
someone
can make an idea roll or a knowledge roll on that. Make a knowledge roll.
All right. Uh, 55. What is no? Oh no. What the hell is knowledge?
No,
It's the stuff in your brain from life experience.
Oh, yes, I got it.
All right.
Because it says EDU and
It's
then in
EDU.
smaller letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you do remember that a couple of years ago that somebody was snatched off the streets at night. There was a horrible shrieking and wailing sound that you heard as it went over the town flapping. You never saw anything, and there were kind of all these local legends about
yeah, so I'd
carrion
say
bats and
so
I didn't think it was real. I remember something happening years ago, and I don't have any recollection of thinking it was real. But then they just knocked me off my horse, and I saw it was a big bad creature. I can't believe it happened all those years ago, and I didn't believe it.
well,
one of you make a spot hidden.
I think I've got a good one of those. Let me see. Yep, mine's decent. Didn't make it. 62 out of. I needed a 50.
Okay. And you just noticed something.
Just one of us or both of us?
You can make it, Yacker. Go for it.
I did, and I got a 2.
Ooh,
Holy shit.
Eagle eyes yacker.
Yeah, and what you see is the woman that's talking to you and holding this woman up by her arm. She's she dabs something on the shoulder of the woman she's holding up, and she's just kind of like she has something sticky on her fingers, and she's trying to
Lovecraftian booger.
I'm gonna
trying to
come over
flick
and
it away.
I'm gonna take one of the glass jars because I had some that I'd gotten earlier from Dick,
Okay.
Philip, and I'm gonna come over and say, if it's okay, I want to take some of the that I just saw you had some of the looks like stuff from
And
the
the other
creature.
woman's wailing. I mean, she is just screaming.
Yeah, I'm talking
face.
to the woman.
Right, but it makes it
was
really
calling.
hard for the other woman to hear you because this woman is just screaming in your face. I mean,
Yeah.
she's bawling. Her son's just been ripped off the streets at night.
And I'm gonna try and get her to hear me and say, and we're trying to catch him, and we're working with Harold, who's a good scientist, and maybe we can use this to catch him. And is it okay if I take some of the stuff?
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Can you persuade her or what you got? Charm, something like that?
Let me see.
do 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 do. Yacker looks for his stats right now. He's looking up. He's
Oh, shut
looking
up.
down. He can't find the alphabet right now.
No, neither of them are good. I guess I could try and intimidate her. So let me just.
Maybe
Okay.
I can come in and just try to get her attention, so you don't even have to talk to her. You can just. I go, ma'am, look at me. In order to help this woman, I'm gonna need you to tell me what you seen.
And as he's doing
Ma'am,
that,
look
I'm
over
gonna
here.
reach over.
Tell me.
And I'm gonna reach over and try and take a little bit of the stuff.
Okay. Great. Make a dex roll as you do that.
All right.
Chris, you know what we
You
were
got
waiting.
it on me. It's in my eye.
You know what we were waiting for, Chris, right?
What?
You're trying to get a woman to snap out of something.
Shut up! Don't even bring that up. That was not streamed in any way.
Oh, I got a 5.
Now I get to be the one who's not in the joke.
You were
you were there.
Emily. You
Yeah,
just
that
don't
was-
remember.
Oh.
It was like episode 2 or
No,
episode
it wasn't
3.
even. This was way before we weren't even recording then.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
remember.
I got a 5, so that's the best success.
All right, so you very swiftly and deftly scoop a large amount of this stuff off her shoulder and into this jar in the middle of the commotion.
Ooh,
Okay,
I'm
and
gonna
then
go
once
back to
I
the
see that
horse.
he did what he wanted to do, I go, okay, I'm sorry, I understand everyone's distraught here, but once you settle down, we're gonna have to get together and figure out how we're gonna get these people back. So,
And Keeper, do I know? So this child that was taken, do I know who it is? I'm trying to think if my knowledge of the town would help me to understand if the 2 people that were taken had any connection or if they didn't seem connected at all.
Sure, make an idea roll on that one.
Right. It's awful hard for me to fail this one.
Which pretty much
Famous
guarantees that
last
you're gonna
words.
fail it.
Yep. There
Oh
we
no,
go.
no, I got a 15.
Okay.
Hard success
Yeah,
or
the
extreme success,
yeah the
super duper success.
the guy that was taken, he's kind of a town drunk and asshole, and he does some odd jobs, but no real status whatsoever. And then the woman's child who was taken, totally different, very pious members of the church, and there's really there's nothing at all related about the 2 that were captured.
At what time was it that, like, I don't remember the time of day. What time of the day is it that around when they were taken?
It was well beyond dusk, so like
Plus we saw
7:30, 8 o'clock region, maybe even later because y'all went around.
I'm just
Yeah.
wondering why she's walking around at this time of night with her child.
Who the fuck are you to judge?
oh,
Wow.
maybe they were going to late mass
It's
or something.
not like there's street lights. I'm assuming people weren't out walking around with their youngins,
Maybe
What?
they had dinner at a friend's house.
because that was typical.
They're out for an evening stroll. What's wrong with
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
It's
you
a
know
nice
what they
night.
would do. You know what they would do in colonial times? They had something called second sleep. So they would sleep for 4 hours,
That's not sketchy at all.
and then they would wake
Right.
up and they'd they had those like
They
laptop.
go
desk
grave
things.
robbing.
Blah blah blah. And something else they would do, or they would pray if they were particularly pious. But something else they would do is go sit on the porch of other people and visit in the middle of the night, and then come back and sleep another 3 or 4 hours. I
Nice.
thought I didn't know anything about that till I started living here. I thought that was so weird.
And if they're
Yep,
hobbits,
that's
they have
very
second
weird.
breakfast and 11
Yeah.
seats.
11sies, yeah.
Well, that's just a normal person thing to do.
So yeah, the
Uh,
idea that you'd be up in the middle of the night,
Yep. All right. So no connection and nothing sus. Gotcha.
You can ask her why they were out.
No, she's screaming. She's not gonna.
You can try Yacker's amazing charm.
I'm sure
Yeah.
she'll take well to your criticism
No,
or for child
Ma'am.
rearing.
ma'am. Hopefully, your child. The last thing he remembers is that you had him out at night.
oh, oh my gosh.
Alone.
Yacker.
Okay.
You're mom shaming.
No. Yocker feels terrible for her.
I
So
can tell.
so yeah, this is all a bunch of there's a confusion here, Yocker. I think we're gonna have to get together with our group and figure out what we're gonna do. I don't even know if they'll get themselves all sorted out before morning.
And I think one other thing we got to pay attention to is our friend Philip. He had a bullet in his leg.
Oh, I thought he hobbled off to take care of himself.
Well, just as long as he's getting the medical attention he needs, but I don't know if there's going to be anyone paying attention to him with all this other stuff going on. So,
yeah, or didn't he say he was going to Body Bill's? Do you think he was going to hook up with a fancy lady?
When I have a bullet wound in my leg, that's not exactly what I'm
Itchy Wanda.
What was it? Itchy Wanda? Yeah, was he gonna?
Itchy Wanda. Itchy Wanda, come suck
Maybe
the bullet out.
Yeah, maybe exactly right. I don't know. Maybe he knew his hours were numbered, and he just wanted to go out with someone on top of him.
You don't think he'd be the man on top?
No.
Oh, that could be. You never know with Philip. He's
The best part was Chris didn't even know that line.
Yep.
Oh, did I do a callback?
Yes, you
did
did.
it. The perfect
Yeah!
You did.
Woo!
Oh.
All right, so
All right.
So I think we should head back and wait for the others. Hopefully
we can either we could. I'm assuming we've got paper somewhere. Like we could leave a note that we're going to be at Seraphim Falls and to come get us when they get back.
Sure.
Yeah, Yocker.
Oh yeah.
Can you-
Speaking of paper, I got this empty book here. We could tear a page.
We're not. We want to examine that book before we tear it apart.
Oh yeah, Yocker, I forgot to tell you. I fished this out of the saddlebags of that fella that Philip shot.
And it's empty. The pages are blank.
Yeah, it's all antique looking with its binding, and even the pages are all aged, but there's nothing on it. You know anything about putting lemon juice on a piece of paper?
I wonder if there's hidden writing in there.
Well, that's why I give it to you. You're a smarter. Wait, what is your intelligence?
90.
Oh yeah, you are a much smarter man than me. So yeah, I tell you, if you can think of anything, here you go.
Yeah, let's check it out, and I'll go. So go back to Seraphim Falls, get a piece of paper, just write a note. Stick it with a pin to the door on the bookstore, just saying to come get us when they get back.
Okay.
And then we'll go check out the book. And I want to just sort of do an inspection and obviously wait till Florence, because I'm guessing Florence is going to have some good ideas about it.
Yeah. Well, you can check it for invisible ink if you want.
Yeah, and I want to check it for invisible ink
before they come back.
So, and if we're waiting, what I want to do is I want to get to like a candle behind it and hold it up and see if I can see any like impression, sort of like I don't know how to say it, a palmacet.
Where like they do with grave rubbings, where you
where there's like I can see the impressions of letters even if I can't see the writing of letters.
Okay. Make a spot hidden.
Is this really a spot hidden?
I think it's exactly a spot hidden.
Okay, then
you're looking for something hidden on a
really
page.
A spot hidden?
Yocker tells me what to do.
This isn't like I'm walking around hoping to like see something out of the corner of my eye.
I'm making a spot hidden.
You're looking for something that's what on the page, Scott? That's what? It's on the page, but you can't quite see it.
No, he's just like I said. He's describing it. I rolled a Yocker. I was feeling around with my fingers to see if I could feel any impressions of where someone might have been writing.
Yep, and also I'm holding it up so you can look at it.
And I rolled like an extreme success. I
Oh my
rolled a
goodness,
9
that's
out of
amazing.
50. Oh my lord, there is some sort of this. Yeah, the paper ain't smooth. There's like some. Should I? I don't know what's going on with the keeper.
Can you make a sanity roll to go along with that extreme success, Bo?
Oh sure.
Oh dear.
Oh lordy. Ooh, I rolled an 81. My sanity is 70. Whoa.
Right?
Whoa. That don't feel right.
No, it
Oh,
don't.
sweet,
No, it don't.
sweet baby Jesus.
Okay.
I can't stop touching it. Make me stop, Yacker. Make me stop.
The evil in the pages shoots up through your fingers. It infests your veins. It makes you shiver. You see worlds at war. You see blood pouring out over
Ooh.
battlefields. People, people's bodies decomposing and turning into flies, into swarms of flies that infest
man.
fields and turn into locusts and invade people's bodies. It's this overwhelming sense of dread and awfulness. Take 6 points of sanity damage.
Ooh, well, thank
Gonna be a
God
fun
I
way to
got
go.
a. Yeah, what I got here? I got quite a decent.
Wow.
How many points?
6.
I can't believe how many sanity points you have.
So I am down to 53.
Yeah, me too. That's
And guess
More than
what? You get
double
to
what I
make
got.
an intelligence roll with that 6 points of sanity loss.
Oh, thank God I'm. Fuck.
Did
you make it?
It's a hard success.
Oh, congratulations. So with that, make a D10 roll.
All righty. 10.
This is oh yay! This is what you get for fondling my book. Oh, well, with the D10, you get to make a D100 roll.
Ooh, to find out what sort of nuts I become. 32.
32. Oh. This is a good one for me to mispronounce. It's called Dachnomania.
Ooh, do you want to tell me in a note? That way the others don't know and I can act it out.
Sure.
Oh, boy.
And it fits with you actually quite well, Bo.
Oh, cool.
So I'm typing out to Bo right now. And
Huh. In that I want to,
yes.
or in that
Yes.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I think that's
okay. Oh, and so the revenge would play into that.
But all of a sudden it's going to overtake every decision.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Yeah. This overwhelming the scenes of war, they all of a sudden become highly personal moments of revenge.
Okay, some people might get this. I wanna feel veins between my teeth. Kill.
It's Thanksgiving.
It is Thanksgiving.
I don't get it.
Oh,
You.
Yep.
It's a pop cultural snippet that you missed.
Every Thanksgiving since I
every
was a
Thanksgiving.
teenager.
Yeah. It's
Can't get
Arlo
whatever you
Guthrie's
want.
Alice's Restaurant.
Alice's Restaurant.
It's like
Accepting Alice.
It's like a 15-minute story.
20, I think.
20-minute story. Yeah.
Yep. And every Thanksgiving, I listen to that. My whole family now. My wife's from Venezuela.
Oh,
and
yeah.
My 16-year-old. We all love it. We all sit around and sing it every Thanksgiving.
Yep. Great story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's me now. So, I don't know for how long, but
So
get
what
used
do
to
I?
it.
So I'm watching Bo.
Oh, so I went.
What do
I probably went into some sort of.
Yeah.
I had a look of horror on my face,
Oh,
and I was
God.
like frozen solid.
All right. So as soon as
and then he pulls out.
So glad this is video as well.
And then he pulls out his pistol,
Oh,
right?
God.
He's like, "Your intent. Roll a d10. We'll find out how long it lasts here."
6.
Okay, so it's not long. It's just a couple minutes, but this is gonna be everything that you do. You throw the book down. You go storming out,
Yeah.
Yacker. You see him just storm out. Into
I'm
the
gonna
streets.
kill him. I'm gonna kill him. Anyone gets in my way, gonna be killed too. Yocker, get out of my way! I swear I'll kill you.
For what it's worth, I'm not getting in your way. I'm taking the book. I'm taking the book, and I look at the book, and I'm like, that's some bad shit.
Yeah,
And I'm
then I
putting
just
the book
storm.
away,
I just
and I'm
storm
like-
out into the
I'm like,
streets.
Nice knowing you, Bo.
Bo, make a luck
Jack
roll.
Crab, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna kill you.
Make a luck roll.
Made it. Thankfully, I've got a 70 luck, so it would have been hard for me to
All right. So
hard for me to miss that.
you're walking out into the streets, stark raving mad, screaming for Jack Crab, and from the other end of the street, you hear a very drunken, "I'm your Huckleberry."
Oh, you're kidding me.
Wait, a drunken what? What about Huckleberry?
It's from the movie.
It's from. Yeah, go ahead.
What's the title of the movie?
Yeah, it's the Wyatt Earp movie, Tombstone.
Tombstone. Oh, it's one of my favorite quotes in all of moviedom.
Well, then what's the?
Wait,
I
yeah,
want to
what is
write
it? I
down
didn't hear the quote.
But what's the quote?
Oh, I'm your Huckleberry.
Ah.
Okay.
It's this great scene where the guy who has TB, what's him? Doc Holliday. So there's this asshole.
Played by Val Kilmer.
Yep, there's this asshole that he's a bully and he fancies himself a shootist, gunslinger, and he's picking on this guy, calling him out for a fight, and he knows he's going to kill the guy because it would be like someone calling Harold out for a gunfight.
Oh,
And
poor
so
Harold.
he calls the guy out, and the guy shows up.
Harold's actually very good with a gun.
Okay, well, the guy shows up, and the guy's all like, I didn't think you'd show up. I'm going to kill you. And then all of a sudden, from out of the bushes, Doc Holliday, who's like a legendary gunslinger, steps out and he goes, I'm your Huckleberry. Meaning, Huckleberry, meaning he thought this kid was going to be like a Huckleberry, like a yokel. And Doc Holliday saying, I'm your Huckleberry. Then he has to get into a fight with Doc Holliday and he gets killed. So it's
Spoiler
It's
alert.
a great
Oh.
moment.
Spoiler alert.
Does it really count for a movie that's like 30, 40 years old?
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
Emily just managed to find out that the droid in Alien was a bad guy, and then she played him perfectly.
Oh,
But that's
wow.
for another
Wait, she
night.
found out after the fact that
Yeah,
the droid
she-
was a bad guy?
Like I
Wow.
hadn't watched Alien until a few weeks ago,
Oh, so you did perfectly role
and
played the
somehow I
evil-
lived my entire life without hearing
I've
any
still never seen it.
spoilers.
Scott,
Yocker,
you never
you're
will
never-
see it.
Yeah,
And I
Scott,
never
you're
will
gonna-
see it.
Nope.
I could see Scott watching
Yeah,
the
it's
first
not-
30
not-
seconds, screaming in his highest
I
pitch
saw-
scream and turning
Yeah.
off the TV.
No,
Yeah.
I think
There
he'd
was
be
some
good
scene-
until that
He'd
scene.
be like
Yeah.
the first 30 minutes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a long exposition before it
Yeah.
gets to.
Yeah.
It's
There was
actually
this-
really, really beautiful.
You know what scene got
Yeah.
me? The scene where he was doing that trick with the knife, with the hand,
Oh, yeah.
and then
Wait.
I couldn't take that scene.
Yeah. Was that the original or the second one?
That was the original, I think.
I don't remember anyone.
I
doing
feel
don't
like it was
remember
the
a knife
second
trick.
one.
He put his
Yeah.
hand over someone else's hand.
That is Aliens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the second
Okay, so
one,
that's
right?
the second.
Oh, is that the
Yeah.
second one?
Yeah, everyone's pretty mild mannered in the first one.
Oh, okay.
They're,
But I
you
saw
know,
that scene and I was like, oh, I can't take this. That's too
Yep.
stressful.
Yeah, and like the wood chips start
Yeah.
coming off the table.
Yeah.
But like Emily says, the first, let's say, half an hour is just a beautiful movie. Like when they find stuff, it's a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. If you didn't know it was a horror movie, you would probably. It would almost be like 2001, where
Yeah.
the magnificence of space
Yeah,
exploration.
it's definitely got some space opera.
And then all of a sudden, it becomes laser focused on
Yeah.
claustrophobic horror.
Then
I've
something
never seen
terrible
it either.
happens.
Ah, I was gonna say.
All right, let's close this puppy down.
All right. I was not ready for that.
I was totally rambling. I thought we were already off the air.
Oh, no.
Here I am telling a 20-minute windbag story about Tombstone.
I was all with that.
That was great.
All right. Here we go. Thank you for joining us tonight under the library. As always, this has been a hoot. Join us next time. In the meantime, you can find us online. We are on Twitter under the LIB. You can find us on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, or just find us on the website, underthelibrary.com. So
Rick, bring us some flowers.
yeah. We'll be back with a full crew next week. So for me, for Michael, for Scott, Emily, Chris, and Wayne, thanks for joining us. See you next time.